The ministry that I've been involved with for almost 40 years in the United Methodist Church has been with the larger church. I came to this conference to become the conference communications person. The person who was the chair of the committee at that time was Marvel Walter, and her husband was Frank Walter, who was a journalist. Marvel, with her joy and with her passion for the whole church, and Frank, with his passion for the ministry of journalism, the ministry of telling a story, really supported me.
The other thing is, working with building the beloved community, and all of the joy and the struggle that's associated with, addressing issues that have to do with race. It's so sensitive, and it's like trying to help everyone feel included in that process, because we can only deal with all of the isms, racism, sexism, homophobia, by all of us taking a part in it and kind of leveling the playing field and talking and engaging.
The ministry that is dearest to my heart is when we went to the reconciling program. Long process, but an amazing process.
When you look at most church signs when you're going around, you'll see almost all of them say everyone welcome. The fact is everyone is not welcome. And whether you're a gay person or even until recently, women were not allowed to be ordained. They weren't allowed to take lots of leadership positions in the church. Almost all the stories that Jesus told were stories about outsiders and how God loves the Samaritans and the women and the centurion and long lists of people just as much as anyone. So it's part of our way of expressing the gospel to make sure that our church indeed is welcome to everyone.
The ministry that has been recently the most powerful for me is a ministry that the church extends to myself, my friend Steve, and other people who show up as the Spirit moves them. It's a ministry that occurs on Thursday evening. It's in the sanctuary, which has really good acoustics. And Steve and I and other folk that show up spend about an hour and a half to 2 hours playing our guitars and singing.
There's a ministry of drums in its infancy right now, and I'm being approached pretty much from all sides by drummers that are coming out of the woodwork. It wasn't really until my late 30s that I discovered taiko drumming, which is the Japanese drumming, and the sound of the taiko drum is like a heartbeat, and it's amazing when you hear a drum hit properly. You can feel it very deep inside. It resonates inside.
I do love being a part of the Epworth Choir, and it's just one way for me. Whenever I attend a church, it just helps me to build a bond almost immediately with choir members, and something that we can have a connection together.
Music is the way that is really deep within me. It gives me a chance to express my experience with God, and I feel that this is the way that I get to do that.
My floral ministry, I would say, was definitely an accident. Just a matter of being asked to help with something. Of all the things I chose to do the Advent wreaths with, in looking around, I saw these ivy vines behind my house that are just the bane of my existence, just thinking, oh, these horrible things. And it occurred to me that these could be useful. As I was twisting them around, they would break. But I realized that if I kept going, the wreath could continue. And wrapping around that breakage, when I finished with that wreath, this had truly become an Advent wreath for me. As I thought about, again, it brought me back to Epworth because I was working for this community, and I guess I was thinking about someone in particular with joys and concerns. We'd had a really moving joys and concerns. And I thought about how people hold those broken places for each other. And the community wraps and just keeps wrapping. And if you just have that community wrapping around those broken places, you end up with that beauty.